The government is shut down. Yes, the US government is shut down. You've probably seen the headlines. But the truth is, it's not about just politicians fighting in Washington about what should happen or where the money should go. It also impacts your wallet, the American people, the average family in the United States. It will affect your wallet, your income, and the entire economy of the United States of America. So, what does it look like for you? How does it impact your money? And how can you set yourself up to get on the stronger side of this outcome of the government shutdown? And that's exactly what we're going to jump into today. So let's get into it. So here's reality. The government has to pass spending bills in order to keep the government running. And this year, they did not do that. They're supposed to pass 12 spending bills, 12 bills that they have to pass every single year. But instead of doing their job, they kind of just kicked the can down the road. They didn't get everything done. They just, they fought back and forth. Democrats wanted a lot of subsidies, and it was about healthcare. And Republicans said, no, we're not going to just pass bills to spend more money for healthcare, especially when it's about illegal aliens. That's what it was about. It was about illegal aliens, and Republicans said, hey, we're not going to just spend money just because we have to spend money. And so basically the clock hit October 1st, money ran out, and boom, the government shut down. So essential services like military, air traffic control, those are going to keep going. But there's also a huge portion of the federal government, guess what? Closed. Yes, they are closed because without federal government spending, without the funding, without the actual bills being passed, everything gets closed. And now it's kind of just a lockout. Which side is actually going to prevail? Which side is going to say, you know what, we need to stop this, we need to get back to work, and yeah, who knows? So as of right now, a huge part of the federal government is closed. Now, you're probably thinking, yeah, that's in Washington. What does that have to do with me? But in reality, it has a lot to do with you because we rely on the federal government for a lot of everyday needs. You might not think about it, but think of this. So there's hundreds of thousands of federal workers that are furloughed. So they're not getting paid until the shutdown ends. And it's things like tax refunds. Yeah, okay. You might not think you need that. Small business loans. Yeah, another thing. Like that might not affect you. Passports are delayed. Maybe you're not traveling out of country, but hundreds of thousands of people are not going to be getting paid, meaning that those hundreds of thousands of people could have been the same people that were buying from mom and pop stores, buying from local stores, and now their money gets super tight in an already economy that is really hard to get ahead in. It's really hard to save money right now. It's really hard to get ahead in the economy because everything does cost so much and it keeps going up and up. Now, inflation has stalled. It has actually gone down year over year, but that doesn't change the fact that there are people that use money and spend money in your local economy, just in the economy in general, that will not have a paycheck. Hundreds of thousands. And some families, not only are they furloughed, but there's other people that rely on a paycheck from the federal government just to be able to go and spend money. So if all these little things are going to add up, it could actually affect a lot of moms and dads across America because money could be getting tighter. And then if you're relying on that money to come in the door from those people and they don't have money to spend, it just kind of gets a little strangle around the neck. And it feels like people might start gasping for air eventually because we're already in a struggling economy where it's hard to spend money, hard to get money and save it. And now you have people that are also furloughed. So this is going to send ripples across the entire economy. Everyone will feel it. And yeah, you might not be in Washington. You might not actually rely on the government for these types of things. But if you're in any type of business that gets money through the door from other people getting paychecks, which that's what business is, you can actually feel the effects. And here's the thing. Politicians, they still get paid. Yeah, so all these federal workers that are getting furloughed, right? They're getting furloughed. They're going to lose their jobs. They're not going to get a paycheck for right now because they're not working. But politicians, they make their money no matter what. So the government shut down, guess what? They still get a paycheck. So they're not really going to feel it. They're not going to feel it at all. They're okay with holding out. But the local mom and pop stops, the local restaurants, daycares, all these different other shops that people need to usually go to, they might start feeling those effects because all the federal employees are already furloughed. Now, I don't know about you, but it's kind of crazy because this is the first time that we've had a government shutdown since, I think, 2018. December 22nd, 2018 to January 25th, 2019, we also had another funding issue, and it was actually about the border wall. The funding issue between the border wall, that's what actually made it shut down. This time, it is about healthcare and how Democrats basically want us to spend money on healthcare for illegal aliens that don't work, they don't pay taxes, they don't do all these different things, but they still want healthcare for them, even though that's another issue. That's a whole nother thing. Healthcare is absolutely insane for the average American. So I really don't want to get into that, but it's kind of crazy that we're stopping the U.S. government to help pay for illegal aliens that shouldn't be here in the first place or aren't here legally. So that's the whole issue behind it. So what about the markets? Well, guess what? Wall Street does not like uncertainty. They does not like uncertainty. Usually we get a very volatile market, but actually a day after the lockdown or the shutdown, the markets have actually hit their all-time highs because the market is shrugging this off as just a political thing. It's just a political thing. It's not actually looking at it as a whole economic and economy issue. It's just looking at it as a political issue. So as of right now, markets look great. They're still going up. And yeah, there's really not a lot of volatility in the market. They just keeps going up and to the right. So, and honestly, guys, if you're in the market, just keep buying, dollar cost average. This is just my opinion. Just keep dollar cost averaging. When you try to time the market and pull out because events like this happen, you could be missing the best days ever, basically, in the market, or you could be missing the worst days. It's just super hard to time the market. So short term, it's going to be a lot more volatile. If you're in it for the long term, guess what? Just keep investing, keep putting your money in the markets. Everything's good. If you end up buying a dip because the markets go down, hey, that's the best time to buy. Be greedy when others are fearful. That's Warren Buffett. So yeah, that's honestly it. So the markets, they're fine, but people are going to start feeling this in the economy even more. It's going to stretch their pockets even more. And so what happens with the government? Hey, we don't know. We're going to see in the near future, but I wanted to get an update on this because I believe that it can impact people and their families if they don't understand what's actually happening. So with that being said, guys, leave a comment down below. What do you think is going to happen? You think we're going to have a long government shutdown? You think this is going to get resolved really fast and eventually everything's going to be back to normal? Let me know down below, and let me know down below what type of content do you want me to make. I've been making more recent event stuff. I still have my budgeting, my personal finance, investing type stuff coming out. I have credit card stuff coming out. Let me know down in the comments what you think, and make sure you hit that subscribe button, guys, because it is huge for the channel. We are starting to grow actually pretty fast for me, for this channel. And hit that like, and make sure you guys hit that bell icon so you have future content just like this. And remember, you can do all things through him that give you strength. Peace.